Unlike Luthor Strode and the original Deku, I didn't rely purely on brute strength to win against my enemies or opponents. Instead, I rely on skills, technique and incredible precision. Not only did I win against Katsuki Bakugo and his friends, I disabled all their limbs before they had a chance to move. I called this martial arts dim mak, and then after I said okay, then try to move Katsuki, and then he tried to move but he was frozen in place standing there like a statue. And then Katsuki Bakugo and his friends looked at me in terror, and then Katsuki Bakugo cried and asked me, "What the fuck did you do to me, Deku?" And then I said, "Do you like it? I call this martial arts dim mak. In fact, that's what it's really called, and the human body is an incredible machine, but it has weaknesses and certain pressure points that shut certain things down. For example, your arms and legs are permanently disabled until I decide to reactivate them again, and now you know what it feels like to be quirkless and helpless." And then Katsuki realized something when I said I don't sleep, and then Katsuki Bakugo said it out loud, "You're not just a genius, you've been training for years without sleep, you know everything, don't you? And you've become invincible because you have infinite stamina." And then I said, "Not just infinite stamina but infinite skills and knowledge combined with real-world experience and incredible precision, something you need to learn, my friend." And then Katsuki Bakugo cried and said, "Deku, don't leave me here, please." And then I said, "I am going to tell the teachers that you have been bullying innocent, quirkless children, and since I'm a witness, they will listen to me, and believe me, I'll see you soon." And then just like I said, I went to get the teachers after I told them about Katsuki Bakugo bullying innocent, quirkless children for no reason, and I even brought the student they bullied with me as a witness when I told the teachers everything. And right after we came with the teachers, I used my special handcuffs to arrest Katsuki Bakugo and his friends to teach every other kid at Aldera Junior High School a harsh lesson. I showed them all that even bullies could be arrested by heroes. And then I said to Katsuki Bakugo, "You will confess to everything wrong you did, and if you don't, then you will have to deal with me, Katsuki Bakugo, and I will get a confession out of you if you don't confess to the teachers today." And in the principal's office, Katsuki Bakugo told the principal the truth, and when the principal at Aldera Junior High School heard the truth, he almost expelled Katsuki Bakugo. And then I interrupted him and I said, "Wait, release him into my custody because he and his friends have agreed to do anything I say from now on. Let him stay here and I'll make sure he remains a good student from now on." And I convinced the principal at Aldera Junior High School to let Katsuki Bakugo and his friends stay at Aldera Junior High School. And then the principal said, "You're lucky, Katsuki Bakugo, you have a good friend. And no, I'm not talking about your bully friends that follow you everywhere. I'm talking about Izuku Midoriya here, because if it were me, Katsuki Bakugo, I'd throw you to the wolves and let you fend for yourself." And then I said, "I will train with Katsuki Bakugo every day, and I will also do sparring with him, and that should stop him from being angry all the time and put his energy into something useful rather than bullying innocent, quirkless children." And then I scowled at Katsuki Bakugo a bit and he seemed a bit angry, but then suddenly he sighed in relief and his eyes softened instantly when he looked at me, and then he looked down as if to regret everything wrong he had done. And for many years, until we were all 15 years old, I did sparring sessions every day with Katsuki Bakugo and his friends, and we all became very close over the years, and I even taught them a bit of martial arts, and I kicked their asses every day and they couldn't beat me in a fight. And I prepared Katsuki Bakugo and all his friends for the future without them even knowing it. And over the years, Katsuki Bakugo began to see all the mistakes he made as a bully, and he realized how stupid he was, and he watched me sparring with all the other former bullies, and Katsuki Bakugo said I was just a dumb kid and I didn't know shit, and I actually trained Katsuki Bakugo and all his former bully friends in the Hercules method without them even knowing it, and I even taught them how to control their strength and use precision and skill rather than brute strength. Use technique first and always use precision and control, and you will win every time." As I told everyone present this, I said, "It's almost time for us to graduate, and I hope I see all of you at UA High School very soon." And I smiled warmly at all my friends and I said, "I believe you all will become great heroes one day. Just remember one thing, always use your powers for good and do the right thing, and you will always prevail over darkness."